Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Hatsubon Urabon-e service. My name is Reverend Takashi Miyaji, and I am your new resident minister when it started on August the 1st, 2020. Today's agenda is that we will begin with the Sanbujo, followed by the Hyobyaku, at which time I'll read the names of the Hatsubon names of 2020. And then we will continue on with Amida Kyo, followed by a Dharma message, as well as the reading of the three treasures. Thank you very much for coming to today's service, and I look forward to meeting everyone very soon. Today, we are gathered on this occasion of Hatsubon, the first memorial and Obon service, the gathering of joy. We are here to remember our loved ones who passed away. Let us reflect on those who passed away since last year's Obon. I will now read the Hatsubon names. Yoshioka Toyoko, Shakuni Myoho, Yamauchi Shizuko, Shakuni Myose, Tanaka Ann Shizue, Shaku Seishin, Okubo Yasuko Keiko, Abe Melissa, Mark Harry, Fuji Reverend Doe, Butsugan-in Shaku Doe Hoshi, Fuji Ayako, Shaku Jakuka, Kajikawa Ida, Tamura Sayoko. We sincerely express our gratitude, respect, and love to those who have gone before us. May we realize the truth that all our lives are impermanent, but at the same time interconnected with our loved ones beyond life and death. Here now, we reflect on their wish for us to find true happiness by encouraging us to encounter the Buddha Dharma and entrust ourselves to Amida's great working, which is the embodiment of wisdom and compassion. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanna, 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 Namanna.
式証拠王式陽光釈式釈光白式白光微妙光結シャリ音極楽国土上十行税空毒将軍無シャリ音デブ国土上差天学黄金維持昼夜六時にウマンダラ家報告修上上位昇誕各位英国上州名家空用他法10万億分即位時期時剣道本国本時期行業者利本国ら国土上州行税空毒将軍武士者利本二国上修習奇妙座式市長白国弱オム者利下領民が有名市長税商州長昼夜六時水和芸音合音延長合今後力式膨大分発祥道分尿税東方合同修上門税音に改新年分年俸年総者に本尿門に市長人税財宝少々少位者が西部国土無三幕州者に本合部国土小無三幕同士名が教右人税小州長改税阿弥陀文翼両温泉天芸小佐者に本二部国土未府水道小法五十牛法ラモ水二妙音二妙薬千十学同時草門税音者開示年上年分年俸年総指針者利本合部国土上十尿税不読将軍有五人民無料無変が葬儀公公明阿弥陀者に阿弥陀文条文に来王根自公有者に本二分無料無変小門弟子大やらかんいぜ三十四章の地消防殺種薬部尿税者利本二部国土上十尿税空毒将軍武者利本極楽国土修上少者改税や美罰合中他右一生不詳ご主人他非税三十章の知識単価無料無変が葬儀公選者利用通常門者応答本願願消費国消費者が国用尿税少女善人空営少者日本不可以小前後福徳因縁徳消費国者日本薬善男子善妙人門仙阿弥陀仏数字名号約一日約二日約三日約四日約五日約六日約七日一心プラ五人臨妙十字阿弥陀仏妙 者三段阿弥陀文不可思議空洞公約足首文趣味相文大趣味文趣味公文四文行税と合賀社修小文各王合国水工上絶素偏風三千大先生会戦場人言尿と修正と新税小三空可思議空洞一切小文小五年用者日本南方正解有日が東文妙門公文大円見文趣味東文無料精進文尿税と合賀社修小文各王合国水工上絶相遠風三千大先生会戦場人言尿と修正と新税小三不可思議空洞一切小文小五年よシャリ本裁法正解無料十分無料総分無料道分大公分大名分放送分上公分尿税と合賀社修小分各王合国水工上絶相遠風三千大先生会戦場人言尿と修正と新税小三不可思議空洞一切小文小五年行者理本法法正解有縁見文最小音文南小文二小文毛明文尿税と合賀社修小文各王合国水工上絶相遠風三千大先生会戦場人言尿と修正と新税小三不可思議空洞一切小文小五年行者理本刑法正解武士四文妙門文妙法文断魔文報道文地方文尿税と合賀社修小文各王合国水工上絶相遠風三千大先生会戦場人言尿と修正と新税小三不可思議空洞一切小部小五年行者理本情報正解ウ本論文宿王文工場文高校文大円見文雑式法系言新文シャラ十王文法系特文県一切義文領趣味千文領税と合賀社修小文各王合国水工上絶相遠風三千大先生会戦場人言尿と修正と新税小三不可思議空洞一切小文小五年行者理本能尿意運河学校病院一切小文小五年行者理本薬偶然難死全尿人門税小文小専尿牛教教名者税小善難死全尿人会議一切小文具小五年海徳風大天王阿のくたら三脈三宝大税公者理本名と海と真珠が五義勝部小戦者理本薬人二本願根本願東本願肉小阿弥陀仏国者税商人と海徳風大天王阿のくたら三脈三宝大王妃国土脈異小脈根性脈東小税公者理本小善男子善尿人脈信者王東本願小妃国土者理本尿が根者小三小分不可思議空毒異小部と翼小戦が不可思議空毒二差税言釈迦無二分の異人難慶牛寺の王者馬国土皇族学生皇族権族煩悩族修正族名族中国阿のくたら三脈三宝大義小修正先税一切政権南進地方者理本統治が王皇族学生行師南寺徳阿のくたら三脈三宝大一切政権政治南進 新士法税人南部戦士教尉シャリ本義小備区一切政権天人アシュラと文文書戦官議真珠さらいにご仏戦阿弥陀経
Please join me in Gassho. Seeing the sentient beings of the Nembutsu throughout the worlds, countless as particles in the 10 quarters, the Buddha grasps and never abandons them, and therefore is named Amida. Jippo Mijin Sekai no Nembutsu no Shujo o misonawashi, sesshu shite sutezareba, Amida to nazuke tatematsuru. To Namandavs, Namandavs, Namandavs. Good morning, everyone. Today we are observing the Hatsubon Urabon-e service where we recognize the families who have lost a loved one. Hatsubon families are designated as those families who have lost a loved one within this past year since the last Hatsubon service. The story of Obon comes from the legendary story that goes as follows. So in the ancient legend explains, there was once a person by the name of Mogalana, or Mokuden in Japanese, who is a disciple of the Buddha. And with his extraordinary vision, he saw the agony of his mother as she suffered in one of the hells of samsaric existence, known as the realm of hungry ghosts. Mogalana tried to save his mother, but he was unable to. And when he tried to give her food, the food would burst into flames and create further agony for her. So unable to help save his mother by relying on his own power, he asked the Buddha for his guidance. When Shakyamuni Buddha heard of the mother's story, his heart was moved to great compassion, and he then told Mogalana to follow his instructions by taking care of the Sangha. And the students of Shakyamuni were on a study retreat, and when the retreat was finished, the Shakyamuni instructed Mogalana to feed the students a nice, great feast. And unsure as to what this had to do with saving his mother, Mogalana followed the words of the great teacher. And through his all-embracing compassion, Shakyamuni Buddha saved Mogalana's mother from this hellish existence. And Mogalana was so overjoyed to hear that his mother was okay that he started to dance. And in seeing how happy with how he was, the other students also began to dance as well. And Obon became an occasion for rejoicing in the enlightenment offered by the Buddha, and is often referred to as Kangi-e, gathering of joy. Mogalana abandoned his self-power practice of trying to save his mother through his strengths. Instead, he turned himself over to the guidance of the Buddha listened to the Dharma, and took care of the Sangha, otherwise known as the three treasures in Buddhism. Thus, in wholly relying on the three treasures, he completely entrusted himself in the compassionate working of what is collectively called other power. Obon is a day of remembering, honoring, and cherishing those who came before us. Their efforts and compassion for us are the reason why we are here today and can experience this rare and wondrous existence we call life. Through their efforts, we can encounter the teachings of the Buddha here and now. Thus, in remembering our ancestors, we dance on this observance. And when we recall the loss of our loved ones, we are forced to engage with what this life is about. We are forced to think and reflect on the meaning of life. It is very hard to make time for that, especially when everyone's hectic work schedule, right? Everyone has to worry about paying the bills, taking care of the kids. I got to take my kids to Boy Scouts or basketball. Let's see what else. We have to study for college. We have all these worries and concerns, goals, expectations. We have certain beefs with other people, right? We have all these distractions that keep us from thinking about life in general. All these things preoccupy us and keep us busy. They keep us from seeing the reality of the situation of our state of existence. When a death occurs to someone close to us, that is the rare moment in our lives in which we are forced to think about where we are headed, what this life is about, and why we are here. All of these questions were prompted by the person who passed away. The person who has died is asking you personally, right now, are you happy with your life? Where are you going in life? What is the meaning of your life? These are often questions they wouldn't ask you even if they were alive. But now you are having that conversation with that person who is no longer physically here. So how will you answer their question? This conversation is such a rare occurrence in our lives that we must think of it as a gift from that person. It is the gift of forcing us to make time to think about life as a whole and what it means. Because if they didn't give it to us, when would we think about these things? When we lose someone that we love, the pain involved in mourning and loss is unexplainable. There are no words. Words cannot be uttered. But it is in this silence that a conversation takes place. We can only perceive of it as a conversation because of the Buddha's teachings. We can only see the loss of a loved one as a dialogue with that person because we are supported by Amida Buddha's compassion. But when we push away the Buddha Dharma, then we are left to fend for ourselves. When we close ourselves off from the Buddha's embrace, we can only see and feel the pain in the loss. What the Buddha teaches us is that all sentient beings are embraced in the world of infinite wisdom and compassion. When we open our hearts to the timeless teaching of the Buddha, we see that we are never alone and that the people who go before us never really leave us. Their love for us stays within our hearts. Our memories of them guide us to the world of warmth, of love, of peace of mind. This is our conversation with that loved one. We no longer talk to them physically. We now speak to them intuitively within our hearts. And when we recall our memories of them, their love for us becomes their way to guide us to the world of peace and happiness. In other words, the world of Amida Buddha and his great compassion. When we feel this peace of mind, when we become grateful for their passing because it was their way to guide us to the world of truth, we now understand that they are okay. We now understand that we will be okay. We now understand that even though we didn't see it until now, we are and have always been embraced in the world of great compassion. This is what our loved one is telling us in our conversation with them. When we come to that understanding, we then respond with deep gratitude and say, Namo Amida Butsu, thank you for this life. Please join me in Gassho. Seeing the sentient beings of the Nembutsu throughout the worlds, countless as particles in the 10 quarters, the Buddha grasps and never abandons them, and therefore is named Amida. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. I will now read the Threefold Refuge, and this is on page 10 of the Shin Buddhist Service Book. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. 人参受けがたし今すでに行く仏法聞きがたし今すでに聞く好み根性に向かってどせずんばさらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん大衆もろともに指針に参謀に帰依し立て祀るべし自ら仏に帰依し立て祀るまさに願わくば主情とともに大道を体現して無常意を起こさん自ら法に帰依し立て祀るまさに願わくば主情とともに深く胸像に入りて知恵海のごとくならん自ら僧に帰依し立て祀るまさに願わくば主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無下ならん無常人人未妙の法は百千万号にも愛用ことがたし我今検問し授事することを得たり願わくは如来の真実義を下し立て祀らんナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダスタンマンダスタンマンダスタン Thank you very much for attending the Hatsubon service on August the 8th, 2020. My name is Reverend Takashi Miyaji once again, and I will be the new resident minister of the Southern Alameda County Buddhist Church. I look forward to meeting everyone in the near future when all this coronavirus business gets taken care of. Thank you very much for your time today.